I remember, and I tag it in my diary, 030303. That is
Meaning
February. Sorry, yes, February, March 5th. Also March 3rd, 2003, when we had what we call the Bugma crisis.
Okay.
There was a problem between some cult groups. Okay. What we had, I don't have fact, what we had was that they were against Amaka Kingdom, His Majesty King Amaka the 11th.
That's the late Amenabo.
The late Amenabo of Kalabari Kingdom. And to that extent, they ransacked the community.
Who ransacked, please?
The so-called cult groups. I don't know them by their. I don't want to start speculating.
So how does it relate to communal crisis?
It relates that because when it started, it was like cult groups are fighting, but later on it escalated to melee because they got to realize that some of the people that came to do this thing, melee boys are there.
Okay.
It started generating. So most of I came with a book titled Nigeria Weeping Nation.
By who, please?
Myself, Dimabo Seberekon.
Okay, you wrote the book.
Forwarded by Secretary to Rivers State Government.
The then secretary, or this?
The Secretary to Rivers State Government, Dr. Tammy.
Okay, so they suspended.
Now you they talk all those ones. I say Secretary to Rivers State Government.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the biggest podcast show in Niger Delta, Gistcity. I want to say thank you to every one of you who has waited for us every 5 p.m. on Wednesday, West African time. I want to say thank you so much. All right, so without wasting much time, today we have a very, very important topic. We have something that has been a global issue. However, Nigeria and Niger Delta is not left behind. We're talking about the causes of communal crisis in Nigeria, most especially in Niger Delta, but then before I go on this show, you know how we do it now. We just go straight to introducing our headline sponsors. Number one on the list is the Belema Oil Producing Limited. 3 goes for Belema Oil in Niger Delta. Goza. They've always made sure that corporate social responsibility is being attended to. They provide carbon water for their host communities, give scholarship to students in Rivers State and Niger Delta at large, and a lot more that we cannot keep talking about without saying thank you to Belema Oil Producing Limited. Up next, we have the MLJ Marine Oil and Gas, another oil company dedicated to empowering locals, dedicated to making sure that they pay attention to their corporate social responsibility. Once again, 3 goes for MLJ Marine. Goza. All right, so without wasting much time, may we introduce my co-host, Gigi. How you doing, Gigi?
I'm good.
How you doing? You're bustling and hustling. Hope communal crisis is not affecting you in your local community.
No, it's not. I haven't heard anything so far. So no, it's not affecting.
Your area is safe.
My area is safe.
All right, moving next, we have a very, 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 very important guest on our show today who is going to help us digress and also enlighten us more on the causes of communal crisis. However, looking forward to making sure that these things are being attended to, these issues are being attended to, so we don't wake up one morning and say, social community is fighting because of small thing that ought to have been said. We have no other person than Honorable Dimabo Seberekon. You're welcome to the show, sir. You're welcome. How are you?
I'm very good.
Hope it wasn't a big issue locating this particular direction.
I'm your next door. I beg your pardon.
Okay.
Gistcity. I'm your next door neighbor now. Here is a house for everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody that wants sound information and balanced and accurate analysis on important issues. I think this is the right place. So you're not hidden, even though you're a bit far. You're always close.
Okay, first thing first, have you ever experienced communal crisis before?
If I have experienced communal clash, yes. I'll start from Buguma.
Buguma, where exactly? Okay.
Buguma,
Asaga,
Asaito local government, the headquarters of Kalabari Kingdom, and also headquarters of Asaito local government area. I remember, and I tag it in my diary, 030303. That is
meaning
February. Sorry, yes, February, March 5th. Also March 3rd, 2003, when we had what we call the Bugma crisis.
Okay.
There was a problem between some cult groups. Okay. what we had, I don't have fact, what we had was that they were against Amakri Kingdom, His Majesty King Amakri the 11th,
That's the late Amainabo.
the late Amana
okay.
of Kalabari Kingdom. And to that extent, they ransacked the community.
Who ransacked, please?
The so-called cult groups, I don't know them by their. I don't want to start speculating.
So how does it relate to communal crisis?
It relates that because when it started, it was like cult groups are fighting, but later on it escalated to melee because they got to realize that some of the people that came to do this thing now, melee boys are there.
Okay.
It started generating. So most of I came with a book titled Nigeria Weeping Nation.
By who, please?
Myself, Dimabo Seberekon.
Okay, you wrote the book.
Forwarded by Secretary to River State Government.
The then secretary, or this?
The Secretary to River State Government, Dr. Tammy.
Okay. Okay, so they suspended.
Now you they talk all those ones. I say Secretary to River State Government. So part of what we highlighted there is that what are the genesis of communal clashes? Sometimes land dispute. Okay? After land dispute, we have political interferences where politicians will come and clash communities together. So he did that. And we brought, the research I did, we brought communal issues, crisis, or what triggers, the things that triggers communal clash. We put it into 3 or 4 categories. Number 1, political interferences, where politicians will come into a peaceful community based on maybe the community have oil, for example. How can we penetrate here? They go to Poki, for example. Poki, can you just disturb the authority, sitting authority there? Can you bring this as a head point and disturb them? They go to the king. Is it Poki that is disturbing you and you're watching? They go to the youth. So you people are here, these things are going on. And they use the little money they have to cause this problem. Those are the ones I tag in this book, Diamond in the Rough, as being political inferences. Okay? Then we also have the second one. Let me check it. Let me try to confirm, please.
Okay.
We also have the second one, which is very, very common in Nigeria, the farmer header crisis. Okay?
That's in recent time.
That's in recent time. But it is recent, but according to my research, it has been as old as the Bible itself. Farmer, and if you go to the book of Genesis, you'll see when Isaac was having issues, trying to take care of his livestock and so on. So farmer header crisis. In Buguma, whenever I make reference to Buguma. The society begins at home.
Okay, that's where you're from. Okay.
That's where I come from Buguma. So even though I had my secondary school in Lagos, I briefly stayed in Lagos. Okay. So in Buguma, we have the Hausa people who are into header works, taking care of cows, and we also have some of our brothers and sisters who are into farming. We don't usually encounter the kind of problems, security problems, that those who do the same thing encounter in the eastern part of Nigeria, that is Imo State, Abia State, etc., where those who, what they call it, animal rearers or malam who are taking care will be on AK-47, invading or trespassing on someone else's land, going to disturb crops, and if you should chase them or in the process they get hurt, those people who are taking care of this things will enter that community and ravage them. Okay, that one I call it the popular farmer header crisis.
Yes, it's popular in Benue, even in
exactly. It's well detailed.
Benue, yes. I think there's this recent Benue saga. And we also had one recently where in River State, Port Harcourt, Ogoni land to be precise, you understand? So,
yeah.
It's fast moving. Then I think the third one, quickly, I call it family communal clashes. In some families for the past 40 years, they have been fighting for a particular boundary. This space is our own. The other group is saying this space is our own. And the elders who are leading this fight or battle or crisis, sadly, when some of them are even passing on, some of them will call their children their words. This land our own. That kind of thing.
Okay, so can you give us like an example of any family that had?
Okay, fine. I will still start from Bogoma. Recently, we won a case. I am from Seberekon's family in Bugma, paternally, then maternally also from Tom George's compound.
Okay.
In the Tom George's compound, which is my maternal descent, we recently won a case against some group of people in Edo community in Asarito local government area of River State.
Yeah.
That case took about 40-something years. We finally won it.
40-something years.
You can fact check me.
I feel the Nigerian system is also one of the major factors. Having a case that it ought to have been settled.
Nigerian legal system.
Yeah, do you understand?
Very slow,
it's like
right?
40. Oh my God, that's a lot.
Very slow. And if you can say every other person, a political figure or business, they're all talking about the judiciary being the way they handle their matters, in kind of snail kind of process. Okay, but the long and short of the story is that the Tom George's group won that land. They call it Ebimaboko. And I tell you, as we've won that place, in our meeting, I told them, if you have won something, go there, make a perimeter fencing, then begin to allot the place. If it's still there, people will encroach and do.
No, sorry.
In fact, a fresh
Let
matter.
me cut you. Why do you people, like your own part of, the family that won the case, why do you people have to hold on to that case for 40-something years? What's in there?
Why we have to hold on to it? First of all, we are holding on to it because it's legitimate.
But outside the fact that it's legitimate,
It's legitimate.
what's that one special thing that's on that land? Or is it just a land?
If you are thinking maybe we have found some oil there, sorry to disappoint you, no oil yet. But for example, maybe you own this place. It is genuinely yours. You have the legal title document whatsoever. But simply because those days they used to keep people to settle in a place.
Yeah.
Go here and stay. And in the process, some of them die. Some of them actually establish there. Unfortunately, that place belongs to Chieftain. That is why my great-grandmother was buried, Mrs. Orubibe Tom George. For you to bury somebody somewhere, it means you own it. And that place is very important to you. It's like where they buried Jesus Christ. Somebody will wake up one morning and said, you don't have right over this place again. There is no oil in that place. But you are trying to bring the significance of that land. Okay, the Tom George himself was buried there. So it's well established that it belongs to Chief Tom George, and it has been so. But simply because, like the present issue, it's yours. You haven't make a proper ownership of it. No fencing is there. People have come to live there. Now we also want to make use of it. Please give chance. They say, no, we have been here for so years. You understand? Just because something is yours doesn't mean that if you shout and you have not made proper ownership of it, as for living there, it will just be given to you. It's a fight. And you have mentioned the problem earlier. It is the process, the judiciary process, very slow. Very slow.
Why do you think it's that slow?
Because of human factor. Because of human factor. When the matter is there, look at this book now. If there was any reason to ever challenge it in court, who wrote it? My name is there. Dimabo Emmanuel P. Seberekon. This book is registered in ISBN. But do you know that if care is not taken, it may take 2 years to just confirm that Dimabo wrote this book.
So, I get you.
You understand?
Yeah,
some other person can be bankrolling whatever, and thereby slowing the some people are wicked. If maybe I know that this work belongs to you, and I want to punish you, and we're in court, I can influence some certain elements there. You get the judgment, but at what cost? You get maybe 10, 5. Sometimes you don't. The person who started the case don't even live to hear or see the judgment. So it is a bad system we have found ourselves in. God will help us, and that's why we are contesting for House of Assembly 2027.
We're doing free promo here.
So that we can correct the changes. Because if we talk till tomorrow, if we don't get involved, nothing will change.
I mean, the past people that have gotten involved previously, where's the change?
I can't blame anybody until I'm there.
Okay.
I can't blame, even if my twin happened to be an assembly member, a rep member of Senate.
There's this popular issue in Nigeria as a whole, which became a global concern. I'm talking about the Ogoni crisis in 1990s. In the 1990s, what do you think have caused that particular thing? Because a lot of people have different interpretation to that. What do you think that must have caused that crisis in Ogoni land?
What caused Ogoni problem is still what is disturbing the whole of Niger Delta.
It's still okay.
Which
What
is?
is
Oil.
still what is
Well,
causing
they're about to free their oil now.
resource control. Now, as a little, I'm approaching 40. I'm not 40 yet. As a little boy, I understand that Nigeria is made up of about 4 major groups who have the Igbos, the Ijos, the Hausas, and the Yorubas. And each of these ethnic groups comes up with
Tribe.
something, or tribe rather,
Yeah.
ethnicity comes up with something to the national. Those of our brothers and sisters from the north come with cocoa, what have
Yeah.
you. And when they sell the produce, what they call the IGR, I mean, they bring it. to the
Internal
national-
generated revenue.
Thank you. They bring it. It goes round. Then same with people from the east, palm kernel and so on and so forth. Then those of us from the south will have the oil. At some point, it became as if it is only what is coming from the south that will be taking care of every other group. And the other parts in the south are crying. But the Ogoni have come to say, this is cheating. Meanwhile, the oil exploration, if you go to some part of our community, Buguma, as a little boy, we used to go to fish and so on. Now our lands are messed up. So they said, keep this thing sealed until we talk the real talk. How can Shell and other multinationals, how can you guarantee us that in the course of taking this, extracting our oils and so on, you don't end up bringing deforestation and desertification? You don't end up putting us through this, because that's the livelihood of the people. So and what they did to Kent Sarowiwa during the former head of state, Abacha era, they're going to have said, because one man, the activists have come to say, this is wrong, try to follow it the right way, it was eliminated unjustly. So they say, because of this thing, you will not see it, we'll tie it down. I think President Tinubu is bringing some kind of
The reforms,
reforms to cushion. People are aggrieved. I think that's a short word to cushion that pain. Okay, in the minds of that people. I don't know if I'm able to answer the way you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So let's come to present day. You talked about Buguma, the crisis in Buguma. You've talked about the Ogoni crisis in 1990. So let's come to present day. Recently, I think it was on Monday, I saw that issue. There's a crisis happening in Delta State. Because
I think between
Itsekiri and
Chekiri,
Ohobo.
Orobo,
And then they said it's because they were celebrating the coronation of a king, and then they were encroaching on their own territory. So I want you to let's talk about that. This is not the first time that Itsekiri and Ohobo people are having crisis.
I think there's this other ongoing crisis too that I feel like it's almost coming to an end. The Itsekiri and the Ijos.
Still within Warri Delta. So let's talk about
now,
why are they having issues?
Because for me, I feel like there's nothing wrong. I'm celebrating, and there might be one or two Itsekiri people staying in Orobo land, which is normal for people to migrate for greener pasture and a lot of that, right? So I feel like I come to say, oh, my brother, I'm celebrating today, and then maybe we probably celebrate in our house while we're there, and then these people are coming to say, no, you shouldn't encroach on our land. I'm not coming to harm you. I'm not coming just for cause for celebration.
I think it's because there has been some form of historical hostility.
Do you know about that issue, please?
Yes, I read about it. I've been hearing about it, and I watched some clips on TV and other social media. I think first of all, people should try to confine their both traditional and other activities within their geographical boundaries. Two, in the course of
I don't agree to that. For example, why I say I don't agree to that.
Let me land. Why you can export your tradition, like Calabar people have gone out to play masquerade, no problem.
Yes.
But you see something that borders on human rights, you have to be extremely careful. Now, what is bringing this clash? I have sisters who marry in Delta State. They both sides you mentioned, and they have different views on the matter. If I start to say it, we will not live here. But to summarize it,
give me two views.
Okay, two. Hostility. Some version have it that whenever they are doing this kingship coronation, something, they go to the other side and destroy things.
Why?
The Shekiri people.
The Shekiri people,
Okay.
I don't have facts.
Okay.
I don't have facts whatsoever. Allegedly. Okay, go to the others. In the name of our king installation and whatever, celebration and ceremony, destroy things. Lives are even lost in the process. And these things are not done in daytime. The celebration starts daytime, but the ending always involves some extreme sacrifices and rituals. So the other group have come to say that, look, we're not against your tradition, your ceremony, but since this other part is involved, whereby it is not limited to cows and other animals, it has to involve, precious lives and whatsoever.
And properties.
And properties. Keep it to this limit. Another group has said, for what? Why can't we spread and celebrate whatever we're doing?
Okay,
so
that's
they should bring forth the real thing they do in the night that other people are not seeing. That is making the other people to say, keep it there. You understand? If we can export our masquerade to UK and other places for people to watch, that means I don't think Nigerians are well civilized, well learned to understand that culture is culture. But the one that will take lives and affect properties, nobody will accept that, whether openly or secretly. That is, I'm summarizing the views I've got.
But how true or how accurate is this?
You understand? People live there. It's like 2 weeks ago, I was in Lagos, and there are stories I can bring. I was at VI. There are stories I can bring from there because I don't have facts. Do you understand? It will only be a hearsay. They said lives are lost in the process. Did I have photograph or video to confirm that these things actually happened? But those who live in the community know what is going on. They know the truth. And if nothing of such was occurring, I don't believe that it will even make news.
Okay, so how about the issue between the Ishekiri people and the Jaws?
My brother, communal and ethnical disintegration have been going on for years. You are going far at Ishekiri. If you come to River State, Calabar or Krika, our languages are similar, but we never agree.
Are you serious? In today's modern world?
In today's modern world,
give me first.
I will give you some these things. Look at Isaka. Isaka, if you go to the main origin of Isaka, it belongs to Calabar people. But along the way, there was litigation. And that litigation, I don't know whatever happened. It is now owned. And Isaka, as you're aware, there is what they call it, oil activities going on.
Yes.
It belongs to Calabar people. So I can be friendly with you on the outside, on the outscale. But what if I'm seizing your phone? Does that give you joy? It keeps a kind of sentiment in your heart, especially when I'm making, how will I call it, fortune out of your resources.
Yes.
And I'm smiling with you. So that Isaka, see Bakana. Is Bakana not a Calabari territory? So that is, I don't want to go far. This is a public this thing. But I'm just giving, you said one, right? And this one, you can fact check. So,
but already, I feel already, according to what you mentioned, you said there's a litigation to it. So I think it has been settled to say this place does not belong to the Calabaris.
I'm not sure.
But you just said it that
there was litigation.
Okay. Has it been resolved? Has it been as the judgment?
When last I had you are a media person, you should try to confirm this.
No, I'm asking you because you can also have real facts. We're all humans.
I know when it started.
Okay.
But in the first place, I gave you an example when we started that this book was written by me, but someone can still challenge it. Despite it is written, I'm still registered with ISBN. Dimabo, this book is not yours. That place, why should it even go to court in the first place? It's like taking Buguma or Bonima to court, or even taking Bakana to court. Why should it be a Calabari settlement? Do you understand what I'm saying? It shouldn't have even been a subject of litigation in the first place. How much more the determination of court? Do you understand my view? Now look at what you said. That's a very clever question. What has the court determined on this matter? So what if they said it belongs to Okrika? Does that give you a Calabari person that knows about this in joy? So that is why I said that we can have, when we're doing cultural things, we come together and do it. But beneath those fairy friends, you understand? I think that's the best way I can try to answer that. And similar things are going on between the Ijos and the Shekiris you mentioned. There is always this always one side trying to take advantage of the other side.
Can we say that to an extent these things are like based off of ethnical sentiments?
Exactly. Yes.
Because this affects even our government. I mean, oh, it's Igbo. I don't like Igbo people.
Exactly.
I don't like this one. I don't like that one. So can we say that part of the reason is because of ethnical sentiments?
You are very correct. It is a part of. Here in this book, Nigeria, a Weeping Nation, I took time to include what you're saying. The ethnic sentiment is there. The disintegration. Nigeria and Biafra were created a lot of problem that even 60-something years have not been able to erase. It brought doubt. It brought scare. If a particular tribe is in this place doing business with you, your mind will not be at rest because of the narrative that have been created. I think we'll need reorientation in all of this. And we'll need...
Is that the only solution?
If that's only... I also recommended political will.
Okay.
There's a reason we have traditional heads, such as kings, regents. Some people call them Oba, Amenabo, and so on. Sultan. There's a reason we are what they call the Igbo people, Igwe.
Yes,
There's a
Igwe,
reason we have all these people. It's not to just Kabiesi or Igwe. It is to bring solution. And part of the solution is calling a spade a spade. But you see one bad thing about sentiment. It creeps into everybody.
Exactly.
People, when issues come, they look at who is the Igbo here, who is the Yoruba man here. When the politicians come into, they escalate everything.
And then stereotypes.
And they stereotype, yeah, exactly. That is
like
that. This one, Igbo man, this one, Yoruba man, Kalabari man, Ijaw man. It is bad, and it seemed light, but it's creating serious problem. Before you know, look at it. Ishekiri and this other group, Wari, they are just a minute unit in Delta State. But with these things that are just creeping up, if care is not taken, you find out that a particular group want to exit. We don't want to be this. You understand what I'm saying? Bile is under Kalabari territory, but today Bile is not accepting that they are part of Kalabari.
Yeah, I know about that.
So it is all this sentiment. I think we need.
You said orientation.
Reorientation.
How effective orientation? Because I feel like some of these ethnical sentiments we have, there are things that have been passed down from generation to generation.
Exactly. If we want to talk about reorientation, you bring it into three categories: learn, relearn, and unlearn. There are mindsets we have grown up with. You understand? For example, I keep using Kalabari. I say Kalabari is all I know. Most people in Rivers and other parts believe that Kalabari men don't like to stay with one woman. I doubt.
How true?
That's it. I'm not married. Yeah, I'm not with any woman. I'm not married.
So that is not.
Is that true?
Is that what?
Is that true?
You also a Kalabari person.
But I'm asking you, you're married. Is that true? That ever since you
are you talking in the context of marriage or relationships as a whole?
Generally.
Okay.
Kalabari man or men don't. Before I got married, I've met one or two ladies, and the view I got, Kalabari men, no, they don't like one woman. And I told.
So do you like one woman?
So what?
Do you like one woman? Yeah, I'm asking you a question. Do you like one woman?
Yes, I'm a one woman man.
For how long have you been with one woman?
So what?
For how long have we been with one woman?
Well, since I got married.
Since when?
I got married last. Fine. Well, you want to bring up my picture? I got married 2020.
Okay.
It crashed. I remarried last year, December 24th, to my dear wife, Mrs. Omete Seberekon, the daughter of late Chief Ebenze Secretary, former Secretary to River State Government. So, even when I married...
Please, sorry. Your name is Dimabo Seberekon. You got married to late Mrs.
No. You are getting me wrong. Or did I slip my tongue?
I don't know. I just want to
let me take it again. Yeah. Okay, don't be cracking my ribs. I said my name is Dimabo Seberekon.
Okay.
I'm married to Mrs. Omete Seberekon.
Wait. Seberekon.
Yes, now I'm coming. Now let me learn.
Okay.
Mrs. When if you marry your wife, won't she answer?
Okay.
What we want to hear is her maiden name.
Her maiden. You are rushing me. I said the daughter of late Chief Ebenezer Isokarare.
Oh, okay. I thought it's Seberekon.
No, now Seberekon.
Okay.
No. I can't marry my sister.
Exactly. That's where I'm. I'm joking anyway.
No. So even before that time, I come from an extended polygamous family. My father, Chief Emmanuel Benjamin Seberekon, being the first, his own father married about 15 wives and had 37 concubines.
Sharp.
Now,
Solomon.
those days, they used to be, he was very wealthy. He was super rich. So the days when they believed that if you have many wives, it's a sign of wealth and affluence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his own first son, being my father, naturally could have followed after him, right? And married maybe minimum 3. Fine. He did very opposite. He married my mom, not because he wasn't exposed or whatever. He's an accountant. He was an accountant in Federal Ministry of Works and Survey, Lagos, now Ministry of Works.
So what's your advice from that marriage? We want you to advise the younger ones coming up. Advise me, advise us.
Okay, fine. Well, first of all, I would say that marriage, sadly, can fail at any time.
Why did the marriage crash?
It's a long story, but I
Give
believe
us a brief.
I believe that.
So we can learn from you.
Okay, fine. Amos 3 verse 3. I'm not a pastor. Amos chapter 3 verse 3 says, "Can two work together except they agree?" Assuming I say, "Come here, this direction," and you say, "Come here, this direction," you see that there's confusion. Okay, we're fine, but along the way, we're not speaking one voice no more. And like Osinachi case, instead of somebody to commit murder, the man should die in it, or the woman should die in it, or there is this kind of ailment or one problem, go your separate ways in peace. You understand what I'm saying? And just to let you know that I wasn't pained. I felt bad because I spent some money and it didn't work out as expected. But because it's not a Calabari thing, my first wife is from Calabari origin, from Princeville and Purpose Compound in Buguma. Now, this is my newly wedded lovely sweetheart.
Sure.
She's also from Isokari's compound and Tom West compound, all in Buguma. So proving everybody wrong that it is not a Calabari thing. You can marry and things go wrong at times. It doesn't mean that who you marry is a monster or you are a monster, but sometimes things go wrong. That's what I would say. You said I should give instances. I've given instances that at some point we understand ourselves.
Let's come back to the communal, to the topic of today, to the communal crisis. I just want to ask, what were the intended goal of this amnesty program? If in those days these people were causing communal crisis and now they've given them what they want, the intended goal, the achievement, is it not for these people also to fight for his or her land? What are these things that were lacking behind?
Let me take it. I think I get 3 questions in one. First of all, you're asking what is the essence of the amnesty program from the federal government, what it was supposed to do.
Yes.
First of all, it was supposed to, how would I put it, to stop all this cult-related activity, militancy. It was supposed to do that, thereby bringing security, serenity, and peace. Then 2, unemployment, can you hear me, is also part of the causes for communal problems. When people are hungry, they look for imaginary problems. Sometimes hunger can make somebody go to the next farm, the next community, go and create some kind of chaos and come back. One person can start it. If the other group should retaliate, it becomes communal problems. 2 people caused Nigerian and Biafra war, Ojukwu and General Gowon.
Yeah, Gowon.
These 2 people, their whatever disagreement led to 3 million people dying. You understand what I'm saying? We are talking of communal problem, but I'm giving a national instance. So sometimes an hungry youth can go to a nearby community, go and plug their farm, do whatever there, then come. That community can in turn retaliate and say, now our community can't do this kind of thing. Before you know, we have a communal clash. But if you give things to youth, ex-militants, and there's no proper follow-up. I have seen a copy of the amnesty form before. And the content there is that for you to surrender to the federal government, it means that you have shunned all form of cultism and social vices. Writing that is not enough. You should be able to, if there's any other, if they should go back to those former ways, people should be held accountable. Because there's even a place where the commissioner of police or somebody not below the rank of chief superintendent of police will sign. There's even where a monarch will sign. So if these things, I'm talking of if people who have received amnesty are still creating problems in their various communities, or they are igniting communal clashes, authorities in the state and federal government can be able to call them to order. First step, call the traditional rulers who are parties or signatories.
Guarantors, yes.
Guarantors. Call the religious leader, because there's even a place they say pastor will sign. All the parties who are guarantors should be held accountable, should be asked why. After you have endorsed that this kind of thing will not go on, and we have been paying them. So why do we still have this same problem? Meanwhile, the percentage of people in amnesty payroll are very minute compared to youth who are out there unemployed and hungry. So I know we're rushing it. It's a limited time program. I exhausted everything here. The number of persons on amnesty, we have about 200 and something thousand people in amnesty payroll. Nigeria is about 200 and something million. And the greater percentage of Nigerian population are youths. So how many percent? David said in the book of Psalms, said, God, give me my daily bread. Let me not go and steal and bring shame to your name. So I think government, especially government in River State, particularly in Nasarawa, they should try to revamp the Bugma fish farm. I remember in 2011, when Bugma fish farm was still operating, we had less social crisis. We had less communal problems. So they should try to revamp. And even the other farm, what they call it? There's another agro farm in Nasarawa. I keep mentioning Nasarawa because I have held so many appointments there. Advice on employment. Part of these same things I'm saying was the things I advised my late boss, Honorable Diary Principal. Employment. I was senior special advisor on employment matters to Nasarawa local government area between 2018 and 2020, when he later died of suspected case of COVID-19. I was also advisor on education to my brother, the former CDC chairman of Degima local government. So when I'm present secretary to region of Kalawari Kingdom. So when I say these things, I say it from experience, both governmental and private or personal experiences. So unemployment can trigger communal clashes, communal crisis. Then political inferences, and traditional lack of, how will I put it? The lack of will from traditional institutions. Because every king, every monarch, every regent knows their words. They know their head chiefs know the youths. Every compound, if we're taking our community or our area as an example, every compound have a head of youth, right? And if something happened, the monarch can say, oh, where did it happen? Like there's a new law in Buguma. If a gunshot should sound, that compound is paying a very huge amount of money.
Wow, that's a good one. How much?
I think
is it being infected?
The region puts it so. It's about 500 or something thousand. If they should hear a gunshot in your compound, as a head, they call it polo double, you are liable to pay a fine of 500,000. The last time I heard it is that they have increased it. Or you provide whoever did that, and they are handing over that person to the authority straight. So imagine this. I'm using our place as a case study, but we're talking of Nigeria in general, probably extending to other parts of Africa. Imagine this kind of, pattern is multiplied. If we see any header carrying AK-47, whoever that header comes from is paying 3 million naira, the thing will stop. But maybe people are making, crisis is business. That's another point. Crisis is business. When crisis happens, people sell guns, they sell ammunition, they sell knives. Some people, their business is war. When war happens, they make fortune. So these are areas, when you're praying, God, let there be peace in River State. Some people are saying, God, when can problem happen again? Let I can hit. Just like you say you're driving out, your tire should not less, right?
Yeah.
For organizer is praying what? You understand? So crisis is also business. And as far as we have people around us who sees that business, who are making fortune out of it, we won't have to stop talking about this problem. But we're not helpless. We're not helpless.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So you made a point about political will and monarchy.
Yes.
But then since the inception of colonial British rule, colonialism, how powerful are these leaders, these traditional leaders?
Well,
Are they still
Because
okay.
most of them are answerable to government.
exactly?
If the governor says, or if the government says, I want you to do this, I want you to fight your own people, you do it. Up to the extent some of these government officials insult our traditional rulers without thinking twice.
Okay, fine. First of all, if I get your question correctly, you are asking if the kings are still ruling or reigning, right?
Yes, exactly.
Fine, I want to answer it very well. They are ruling and reigning. Some of them may be distracted because of money and some political benefits, but they still continue to rule and reign. I'll give you an immediate instance. Not quite long, they did a civic reception at Abalama, right? And the king of Abalama came and issued that, look, because of the political heat in River State, can this program be suspended?
But I wasn't listened to.
No, listen. It was listened to.
It wasn't.
I'm coming now. It was listened to. The very people who were trying to host it actually
Yes.
did it. But there were also keynote figures in Calvary among the traditional class who were supposed to be there, right? Like the regent and so on and so forth. Were they there?
No.
Were they there?
No.
So what does that tell you?
But the other people didn't listen to them, and nothing
You
happened.
don't understand where I'm going with it. They said this thing, a king have come to say, look, for the sake of peace, shift this program, right? He cannot give a marching order to the federal government. But he has come as a monarch to say that this thing, in the interest of peace, should be postponed or suspended. People use government influence and say, okay, we have to do it. Quite all right, it was done. But
so what's the essence?
No.
What the king
Listen,
said did not.
When a program is, how do you gauge
Okay.
a successful program? If you are doing, let's use a wedding. You're doing a wedding, and in Buguma, for example, and you invited all authorities. First of all, that you had a successful wedding is having, in the traditional line, almost various heads of the traditional rulers. For example, we don't have a present king, but we have the regent, who is the acting king. If regent is present in your occasion, it means that the Calabari people are represented. Just if President Tinubu attends your wedding, Nigeria have attended. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
So if Tinubu didn't attend, President Tinubu, GCFR, didn't attend in person, was not represented, and you invited him and you're expecting him, and other elite rulers didn't attend, they boycotted it. It was poor. And that is boycotting. I don't know whether you understand that.
Yes, I get it.
Boycotting a program or an important event is another way to say, I'm protesting against you. So what the king said, and some people disregarded, actually had effect. He didn't get, you can tell when other programs, similar programs were going on. You will see the likes of the Amena of Abonima and the regent and other people. Our High Chief Dumolulu Briggs, Twin Prince. Did you see any of them? They weren't. And the federal personnel was coming to correct soil, which normally they were all supposed to come to grace. So, in short, what I'm saying is that the kings are still ruling and reigning. It's just that they have lacked the will to talk what is fair. No, even minor cases, if you take it to some of the kings in their communities, they begin to do like the same thing we're experiencing in judiciary. Call a spade, some of them become sentimental about it. So they are ruling and reigning. And whenever they are ready to stop corruption, that's what you're talking about. Whenever they are ready to stop this corruption and say, look, even if it is my son that come and do this thing, is responsible for communal clashes, I'll provide him. If it gets to that point, then we'll have peace. Because no faceless can come to Port Harcourt and do something. It must be somebody from Port Harcourt. It must be somebody, either an indigent of River State or someone resident in River State. And you can't be resident here, and maybe this area now is in Polu area, if I'm correct, and authorities in Polu, the chairman, CDC chairman, or the people in the council or authorities here won't know you. Is it possible? So is the will. Some of them will not. And until they stand firm to do this, we'll keep talking in rings.
When will they stand firm? When will they stand firm?
When would they stand firm? That's why I said earlier that let people like us go. For example, I'm personal, what they call that, my work again to Regent. Okay? I'm working with the Regent. And there are things and one of the things I love about him is that he listens. Some things that you think you come and do, I'm the leader, let me do like this. When you, even as a far younger person, when I talk to him, Daddy, why don't we look at this? It's okay, fine. Do you understand? Do they listen? Pride kills. Do they listen? So anytime they're ready to listen and take good advice, there will be peace and there will be safety. For example, when we're discussing, and Richard was talking about, look at all this other group, litigation. During Prof's burial, King Amakri the 11th, we're discussing.
King Amakri the 11th. Okay, that's a minor of Calabari.
Yes,
okay.
a minor of Calabari Kingdom. We're talking, and I said, Daddy, I wish that even though some matters are still in court, you can still, as a father, approach the warring parties, talk to them, let them try to come together, and we'll unite and give His Majesty befitting burial. He said, that's a good one. I never heard anything about it again. The next thing I saw, he was holding meeting with the King at the Royal House. The next thing, the other parties are being visited. And before you know, you saw how the grassroots was. Almost all the parties within Calabari territories and across came together. Imagine other leaders around are also listening. So anytime the traditional leaders decide to listen to good and sound advice, there'll be safety.
All right, so a quick one. Let's talk about these multinationals, because over the years we've seen that they are the major causes of, some of the major causes of this communal crisis amongst our local communities, especially right here in Niger Delta, right? How has these people affected it, and what's the way forward for this? Have you had any speculations on a particular incident, on any particular multinational causing this communal crisis? Was it resolved? How was it resolved? And how do we copy from this so that in case it happens again, we can replicate?
Recently, there was an oil spillage. I think Bukuma area.
Okay, was it oil spillage or it was caused by bunkering?
Bunkering. Define bunkering. As you use bunkering, and define it.
Tapping into the.
When you tap into something,
okay,
don't oil spill.
Okay.
Is that not spillage? Right? There was oil spillage. And I called my lawyer. I said, this thing that happened, who are the people that are supposed to answer to us? And he gave me instances. He said, first of all, the federal government. And it's also a security matter. And I was happy. I saw our brother, Honorable Juga Iflaga Makri, who came.
Okay, that's the advisor to the national security.
Yes. Okay. Advisor to the national security. How would I say it? He's working as
he's an advisor. Yes.
He's an advisor in the office of the national security, Nero Ribatu, right? He came. I saw at least, but I was looking at people like NNPC, Nimasa. And what was the name of these other people? Federal government, proper federal government presence. And a kind of consolation. Because part of what that thing did was, what they call it, desertification of that place. I saw it turned the place to a dry forest, deforestation. I saw it. But we wanted to approach court, but again, I was advised, are you the right person to take up this matter in court? Do you know that no matter how, I'm not a lawyer, I did business management, University. No matter how good your case is, if a lawyer was there, would have given me the term they use, who the right person to present a case. As an individual, I'm a Calabari son, related in Degima local government, fine. But when I wanted to start the action, he said, no. First of all, the Bukuma community will rise. Then the Calabari community will rise. And sue NNPC, sue Shell, and all the multinationals for playing negligence
Yes.
on this matter. We are taking it lightly, but people are dead because that's people's livelihood. Our heritage is fishing. We are not those of our people from the east who are into farming. Our heritage, if I'm using local dialect, they say Injiba and Santa. That is our heritage. And whatever comes to crash your heritage is gradually putting you into extinction. Extinction. Because when you don't have what to feed on, the next thing you think of is to steal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So multinational, even though some of them write MOUs, they don't honor it. And it still boils down to our traditional institutions. People should be able to stand up and say, look, you do this thing, go back there and tidy the mess. But unfortunately, there also are some of them, not all, are involved in the political deaths in River State. So when you have lost your voice, it is hard to come out and challenge federal government because whatever they know that you are doing that is unlawful, they will use it against you. You can't be part of the people instigating crisis in River State. Do you know that if you and this, my sister, you're having issues, and I come and stand beside you, I'm part of the people engineering the crisis. I should be able to stand in the middle and say, look, it's okay. If you don't listen to me, I should be able to think about who both of you respect and bring to the matter, right? But some of these our traditional elites, our traditional rulers, do you see them doing that? I'm putting it to you direct. Do you see them doing that?
I don't know. I'm not there.
You're no longer in River State.
You're not me.
You're not in River State. It calls for character. It calls for willpower. It calls for sincerity. Some of them are not sincere. And that's why I strongly recommend this book. When the secretary wrote the forward, he said this book will go far. Because what I'm rushing to say in 5, 10, 15 minutes, I took years to research it in this book.
What's the name of the book, please?
Nigeria, a Weeping Nation.
Okay.
Is a compilation of security problems, farmer aid crisis, and way forward.
How long did it take you to write the book?
It took me about 4 years.
Oh.
4 years to write it. And even the 4 years, I'm still looking at bringing revised edition because by day, for example, that Bukuma issue is not here. This recent, so by day you are having more and more issues. So
now, there's this other case I am aware about. I think like it's the Obolo and the there's this particular tribe in Nigeria. Is it Akwa Ibom or something?
Yes.
Over land disputes. Are you aware?
Yes. You are talking of the Cross River.
Yes, sorry.
And the Akwa Ibom.
No. Obolo, there's this place in River State that they have a little bit of either the Cross River people or the Akwa Ibom. I'm not too certain, but I know it's between these three communities.
Well, that very one you mentioned, I don't have much facts on it, and I don't want to speculate. But I know of one which is currently going on. Akwa Ibom versus Cross River, still land dispute. And people are
But this land issue, before Nigeria was created, we have a proper geographical map of every region. Why is it not being sorted out ASAP? Why? Is it because of the loss of data? However, even if it's because of the loss of data, I believe Nigeria have answer to all of these.
Yes.
So why should the government still allow this thing to go on, knowing fully well that it takes the lives of properties and people's life in general?
Well,
why don't we get these things sorted out?
What I will say to you is that in 2017, I wrote a book on Dr. Jonathan.
Okay.
Titled Diamond in the Rough. It's on
Dr.
Amazon.
Jonathan, that's the
former president.
Okay.
Yes, Goodluck Jonathan. Titled Diamond in the Rough. It's on Amazon. Now, because I feel for him the way he was almost disgraced out of office. But there is also a view I have about him that is, I'm not too pleased with him, which is boundary adjustment. Almost taking Kola to Bayelsa because there's oil well. You remember I mentioned political inferences when politicians come and politicize boundary adjustment and so on. When you, as you said, since Nigeria was created, there's a survey plan of Nigeria. there is a proper geographical gazette of Nigeria. So this constant land dispute, if oil come out in your house, your land tomorrow, don't be surprised that one community will come and do boundary adjustment and they claim. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the problem rise and fall with our politicians. Because when you go to land and housing for land issue, what do they tell you? Sometimes they will tell you, even if you have the documents here, and there's a little adjustment. Who did that adjustment? On whose instruction was that adjustment made? Political people. You understand? So even some of the people who have documents, when people are challenging this, and they say, look, this is the document my great-great-grandfather gave to me. But still, because it has been adjusted, do you understand? It has been adjusted. So people become helpless. So what is the essence of the document in the first place? They say, go and get CFO. CFO that in the next 10 years, somebody will come and adjust and claim my land. People are buying land at MOA now. Tomorrow now, oil will come out somewhere and somebody will come and do adjustment. You see, all these things lead to communal problems. They lead to internal crisis and sentiment and rift. And you can't claim my own. And tomorrow, I see you, I smile, and he says from the bottom of my heart. But for the grace of God, if Kola had entered Bayelsa, I could have withdrawn the book I wrote on Jonathan, because I know in my heart that was not fair to carry him. You said to Rivers people, you said that since Nigeria was created, there is a geographical gazette, right? So what now happened? That my brother, my leader, President Jonathan is president, all of a sudden, Soku has become part of Bayelsa. Why was it not during the Yaradua? Why was it not during Obasanjo? Why was it not during what they call it? Babangida or what they call Abacha? Why was it during the time of my leader, my brother, my loving father, President Jonathan of Bayelsa, while Rivers space will be adjusted to Bayelsa State? Do you see the political inference that was mentioned in there? So politicians are part of the problem, and I think only politicians can be the major solution to the problem.
All right, Gift.
I thought you were going to talk about like the Biafra war and how it led to displacement of families and how that affects the land dispute we have till date.
Well, it is also part of the land issues we're having in Rivers State. For example, at a time, Rivers State, Bayelsa, and some other part were regarded as the eastern part of Nigeria. Okay? And so, if you were issued a house document in the 50s, you have to go to Enugu. Just as if they give you land listed now, the governor of Rivers State in Moscow Road have to give you the CFO. You have to go to Enugu to get it. Many Igbos were in Rivers State. But when the problem started, some of them sold it at a giveaway price. Some of the houses were auctioned and some abandoned and ran away. After everything happened, what I felt the former President Gowon government could have done was to set up a committee. Those who genuinely sold their houses is gone. Those who ran away because of the crisis, such houses should be traced back and given to them. I think when you say you want peace, there should be a realistic and genuine way to following these things. Because if somebody build one-story building, even a bungalow is not a joke, how much more story building? Then because of war, run away. And in 3 years later, another person have come to claim what he never built.
I think even if they wanted to follow up that initiative, it would have been very difficult based on like the current condition of the country at that time. And they're recovering from
the war lasted 3 years. If a problem happens and you don't tackle it immediately, it degenerates and escalates. The war only lasted, did it last 5 years?
No.
Within 3 years, I think there is no resolution they could have done that they wouldn't have been able to do. The man who him and President Gowon started it came back, built house, and married the most beautiful girl, Bianca, in Nigeria. That was his priority. That's why we have to be careful with these freedom fighters. people went to war on his account on what he believed to be the new Eastern region, the new Biafra. And he came back. He wasn't talking of what they had lost. How, somebody must champion your cause. Are you aware?
Yeah.
Sometimes, can you now go to Minister Wike and say, Your Excellency, my house in GRA, this. Somebody must be there to tell him,
Yes.
Poki's house in GRA, Your Excellency, right? The man who could have done this thing, who was even the architect of all of this thing, at that time, his interest was the most beautiful girl, with due respect to his person. He married her. Is now Nigeria's minister, Bianca Ojukwu. And that was it. I think that was the last part of legendary adventure I had about him. But look at these things. He could to see that those Biafrans who are still, or those Eastern Nigerians who are still alive,
come claim their properties.
Come to, reclaim their legitimately owned properties. This person, when she was still alive, Madam Onyeka Owenu made mention of it, that they had a house somewhere in Hospital Road. Because of the crisis, they fled. And when they came back, it has been taken away. Would such a woman come to Port Harcourt and be happy with whoever has claimed that? You see, you understand that this piece we are talking about, some people in authorities are not really serious about it. I don't know if you agree with me. Based on how they are following it. So I don't know if I try to answer your question.
Okay. So now let's take a look at the whole Gaza-Israeli situation. They are currently still having war issues now. So some people have left their house and run away for food because they have centers where they share food and all of that now. If they eventually find a way to end this war, let's say they find a way to end the war now, and then how possible will it be for them to be able to give people back their properties and their houses and everything that they have lost?
Some things,
based on the condition.
Some things they are similar, but they're not the same. What are they using to fight in Gaza? They're using, what is the name of that bomb they're using? Nuclear weapons. What did they use to fight Nigeria and Biafra war? Oka? Now, nuclear weapon, God forbid, they will never drop, but if they drop one, I believe all the surrounding buildings will be, do you understand? To be brought to powder. Now, Oka gone, they were facing individuals, right?
Yeah.
The buildings were still standing, right? The best they can do, if any day they're able to settle this Gaza-Israel problem, maybe they will try to rebuild. The government will try to private-public partnership, try to build a house for them. You understand? Kind of IDP camp or whatever, or a kind of grants. But this one that is very realistic that we are seeing, Onyeka Owenu, I gave you an instance now. She said that, look, that house there, I don't know the particular number so that I don't go and create problem. But she said, you can fact check me. A house at Hospital Road in Port Harcourt is her father's house where they used to live before the Civil War. And when this thing happened and they ran away.
That was the center city for people staying in River State.
Thank you. When they came back, somebody else have claimed that house. So Gaza problem.
They couldn't talk to any authority. Yeah.
Is that what?
They couldn't talk to any authority.
You understand? So Gaza problem, it simply means that any day the problem settles, government should try to rebuild, like Jerusalem, rebuild the broken walls. But this one, you can easily go back to their documents, one by one by one. Whoever sells it, who own them. Some of the documents, if you check it very well, if you go to Land and House, you hear one Carlo Okonkwo. Is that River's name? When you talk of Chikere, that is, we have our river, yes, on Wike, that's River's name. When you are hearing of Carlo Okonkwo, and the man, maybe the man there is a Kalabare man, Dimabo Seberekon, inside Carlo Okonkwo, how did you come about this document? And the Carlo Okonkwo family are suffering somewhere in the north, or in the east or west or wherever. And they have been dispossessed of their property. And you're talking of peace and whatever in Nigeria. So you can see that the authorities in this are not really, really, really committed or genuine or sincere about this reconciliation. Because all of these things is still what is triggering, we want Biafra. We want Biafra.
But I've seen a friend who says he wants war if it is only war. That how do you see people who want war? Because most of these people haven't experienced war before. What's your word of advice to those people who want war every time they want war?
What I will tell them is that we should go to Zambisa. I promise on this platform that I'll provide 50,000 and they should go to Zambisa. I have witnessed crisis in Buguma. Okay? Crisis in Buguma that lasted for about 3 to 4 weeks. And it was like 5 years in my eyes. Every day shooting. A particular lady in Buguma came out pregnant, I think in John Bo's compound or so. All right, in River State, Asarito local government of River State. Came out and she was washing. While washing, stray bullet left wherever it came from, entered into her anus and killed her.
Oh my God.
So they were using wheelbarrow to carry corpse. So if you have not, war is they don't know what war is. If you have experienced crisis for even 24 hours, then you will now talk of war. When war happens, there's food blockade.
Yes.
You can't go and buy, you can't go and sell. Even to drink water is by connection, because the moment the one you have inside is off. Water that you can bring water or lasagne, whatever. It becomes, to get water becomes connection. The longer it stays, if from account we gathered during the Nigerian Civil War, they said people even ate their children.
Oh my God.
So if you have not experienced crisis, we should watch Rambo film.
Yes.
Rambo film. So we think these things are AI. They are not real. They are real. War is a terrible thing that nobody should even dream of it. Even crisis. How does crisis start? Maybe one malam is bringing shoe, another person take the shoe from him. Hey, before you slap him, you punch him. Malam bring thing a boss belle. God forbid if he now happens to be an Igbo man. Oh, they are killing Igbo. The Igbos will rise. The Hausas will rise. There's trouble. So nobody should talk of war. If you are talking of war, I'm still saying, if you are in this river you're talking of, I'm volunteering 50,000 naira. Take you to Zambisa. And you must go there.
All right. So, in conclusion,
Yes.
what's your advice to these local communities as far? I want people to be in charge, and then what's your advice to the government, and what's your advice to those people that genuinely want to cause trouble?
If you want to cause trouble, I just have one advice for you. Call your family, call your loved ones, then let them be in the front, then start the war or start the trouble. Because when you start trouble, most people who start trouble don't stay and finish it. They run away. And other people become victims. Let them put their children in the front. Then for the locals you cannot become stooge in the hands of people. The people who go and ignite this thing or incite this crisis will never. I keep bringing. I have a son. I can never bring my son to say there's this clash. Come and stay in the front. Do you understand? So I'm talking as a father now, I'm talking as a father. Like I say, people who are interested in creating this problem should try to bring their children. And you are in the local does not mean somebody should not have sense. You are in the local community or rural place. It shouldn't be that you become anyhow. They call you, come here, come and destroy. Go and grab that land, you go and grab. Go and destroy this, you go and destroy. Because when you shit where you lie, you come back and meet it there. It's like, I create problem in Buguma, I create problem in River State and run away. Where will I go to? At the end of it, they will still bring you here. And meanwhile, people in the local setting should also know that the world is a global village now. If you create problem and you say, oh, the guy that is sponsoring you have links, you can travel to Dubai, wherever. There's Interpol, Intercontinental Police. They will bring you back. Just like there is IGP. No part of Nigeria that IGP cannot bring you. There's also Interpol. So you should look at these things. That's why we started by saying there is serious need for reorientation. So our conclusion is that shun social vices. Get a skill. Okay? Get a skill. And I thank what our dear big brother, Honorable Impakad Long John, is doing, and all the sponsors, all they have been doing. The other time I heard he was doing a skill acquisition in Nasaito local government of River State. These are the kind of, and look at it, when there's skill acquisition program, the attendance is usually very minimum. But when there's money sharing, it's massive.
That's like giving you a fish without teaching you how to,
If you can make sure, you never lack, because fashion is part of this thing. Like the present security advisor to Office of the Security Advisor to the President.
Yeah, he's a shoe cobbler here.
He was a shoe cobbler. Until today, he's proud of it. Sometimes in his video, you see, you go to Diop, where he used to make sure and all that. From Shuku, look at where he is. So you must acquire a skill and be dedicated to one.
Okay, all right, Gift. So, do you
Your last
an
one.
advice?
An advice to, I feel like he has said it all. I mean, skill acquisition is really, really important. And then again, I feel like orientation, we need to have, let's say, like sensitization, to sensitize the youth, the young ones that are coming up, maybe through media, for instance, because media is one of like the most powerful things. We need to sensitize them, maybe through books, through campaigns, things like that. Educate them, enlighten them on, these communal crises and how we can end these stereotypes and all these other things that are causing these problems in communities.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, I guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's episode. Don't forget, today we talked about the cause of communal crisis and a way forward to ending these issues in Nigeria, most especially right here in our Niger Delta communities. My name is Pokima. You would always meet us on Wednesday, West African time, 5 p.m. on YouTube and Spotify at Gistcity. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.